Hi everyone. I wanted to show you guys really quick my newest book that I've been working on for a while. This one has a lot of time put into it and you'll see why. This was a fun one, and basically what it includes is watercolor paper, some old fabrics, some vintage items, and then photos that I took, and then a couple of them were gifted to me, and then painting. Okay, I think that's pretty much what covers it. As most of you guys who've ever followed my art, you know that all my pieces are based on my journey, and this is no different. So let's get to it. I haven't decided on a title yet. I like to visit with my pieces and just hear the song and the lyrics that plays out to see if it's really speaking the message that of my journey that that I've either walked through, I'm going through, who knows. So let's see. And once I decide the title, maybe that will help me put a word, or vice versa. Maybe once I know the word here, then it'll tell me what the title is. So anyways, I used an old vintage album page. Okay. And what I like about this is I could have created this with this just like this, and it would have been a beautiful piece. What I wanted to do is I wanted to pull the viewer in as if you're looking into a portal or a window, or you're looking out of a window or a door, whatever. And, or maybe it's like, sometimes it's like something tugged at me, recalled a memory. Okay. And that's this little part of a memory is playing out. I'm reliving it, and that's part of what it is. So the words that I chose for this was, I have always known that at last I would take this road, but yesterday I did not know that it would be today. That's not always a bad thing. Okay. Sometimes when we see those words, we're thinking it's, oh, I wasn't expecting this to happen to me and it wasn't a good thing. But a lot of times it's also that maybe something in a season or an event came to an end and it was an amazing thing. And now, as much as it's sad that that's over, the possibility of what lies for the next step is exciting. It's nervous. It's anticipation, different things like that. So anyways, I just kind of wanted to explain that one a little bit. But what it is on one of my travels, as I was taking a walk that day, I came across this field of flowers. And so I took a portion of that and implemented it here, and then came in and changed some of the flowers, the colors, and then muted some of them. And then I created like an ocean scene. So it's kind of making you feel like, it could be at a port, it could be at a cliff, and then feels like a little path leading there. Okay. So just kind of a little bit of my thought process of where I'm going with. Then, my next page, I like to create pieces of art many times that allows the viewer, when they get my books, to either they can leave it as a piece of art, or they have the option that if they want to come in, they could write over my words. They could go at different angles. They could fill in here. Maybe they want to put a picture. Maybe they want to sketch, So of all the roads she traveled, the journey back to herself was the most magnificent one. Destination. Okay. Then when you turn it, and so what it was, how I attached these pages is I came across all these old money bags from a bank, and I tore strips of them, and then I sewed them to the pages to attach them. Okay. So on this one, I created this, like, whether it's a path, it's a staircase. To me, it was like another path going this way if you choose. The words that's kind of gravitating towards me at the moment is, strength and courage, to take that next step, the next opportunity or the next door, or maybe it's time that this season has come to an end, and having the courage to let go, so it may be letting go. Who knows? Imagine, learn from the things that we walk through to apply them to the next part of our journey. Okay. And butterflies are, if you know anything about me, I love nature. I'm sorry for the clicking in the background. The grand pups are here. And Okay, so for butterflies, you know, the cocoon, you know, they're in there as a caterpillar, you know, they struggle for so long to break out. And it's through that struggling that they're building the strength up into their wings, because they're transforming into the butterfly while they're in the cocoon. So it took me a long time to understand. When I was growing up as a child, I wanted to help the butterfly out. Problem is if I did that before it was time, the wings would not develop in the strength. And so as soon as they took off, they wouldn't be able to fly. And then, of course, they would die. So as a child growing up, you know, that was a big learning curve for me to understand that everything is a process and it takes time. And, you know, things that sometimes that we look at that's uncomfortable, it's not fun. But sometimes we need that to build, you know, something, the strength, the courage, the, you know, whatever it is that we're learning through the process. So that's how that came about. Okay, so my next page is, this was gifted to me, this image, years ago. And I wish I could remember who it was, so I apologize for not knowing the name. But so I wanted to take the image and distort it some and create like this path coming through. That's leading you. I love my nature, so I take pictures of trees, and this is a portion of that. And then just applying paints and inks. Now, the paper through here, the majority of it is from my travel in France. So I love the delicateness, the tiny print and everything. Relax, refresh, reconnect, growth. Okay. Now, what I really enjoyed about this page was when I sewed the strip of money bag to this side, when you flip it over, the texture that it came through, the design and everything, is just, after I applied the paint, it was amazing. So I didn't want to cover all that up, and I left it. And maybe if I pull it up a little bit, you can, oops, the sun's coming through, so I guess I won't be doing that. Okay, now on this one, this money bag, on a number of them on the back side, the person had written out the addition or the amount of money that was in there, different things like that. So I left that intact. This image was gifted to me by Leslie Venable, and then I took it and then I just enhanced it further and created this ocean feel and clouds, and then brings you over to here. And sometimes in the waves of change, we find our true direction. Okay. Now, what I like about when I create my books, and if you know anything about my art, you know that things don't line up. The sizes are different. I love how you can see what you've looked at, what's the possibility of coming. All that plays into my art. Okay. Now when we turn it, this is a fun one that I enjoyed. You can see some of that French paper behind here. And once I laid that French paper down, I then painted over it, but left hints of it. Some beautiful paths can't be discovered without getting lost. And so I created, like you're on a back road or you're going through a path through the woods, different things like that. Okay, so the next one, and this was a this was a fun money bag that when I came across this one, it had a number of addition. I'm going to assume, I didn't add it up, but it looks like it's addition on the back of it. This photo was taken when I was traveling the back roads of Italy. Came across this town, and one of the structures used to be a military post, and you can still see the keyhole that was in the, you know, it was all deteriorating and everything. So I took the image and then I created the painting around it and then carried over here. Now this portion of the image that you see right here was taken when I was in France, and they have such the patina on their gates, and, you know, it was just amazing buildings, things like that. So I just, you know, carried that theme going through here, put my butterfly again, because life is a balance of holding on and letting go. Okay. And, you know, seeing the keyhole, it kind of applies to it to me. Now, my last page, you know that I love trees. So I created my painting, Let Faith Be Your Guiding Light. And I just love this page. Oh, I love the whole book, but, you know, that was a fun one. And you come to the back, and then it was old vintage canvas pieces that I pieced together. And I'm looking at maybe putting some words back here. Okay. So anyways, thanks, for taking some time to check out my new book. Once I know the title, then I can let everybody know. But that was a fun one. Just taking pieces and putting it together, which is basically how I look at life. Our life isn't made up of one event. It's made up of numerous pieces, and put together tells the story of our life. Okay? Hey, there you go. Might be the title. Who knows? But anyways, until we see each other, bye, you guys.